Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom, I am the crypto investor and it's time for our weekly market roundup. As ever, we start with a heat map of the top 100 coins in crypto and you can see that overall it has been another green week in crypto. Ethereum with a storming week up 8%, taking out the all-time high, currently sitting at 4,300. Bitcoin modestly up on the week, 1% or so, but really the big story of this week has been about the meme coins. SHIB now up to like 7th place by market cap with some unbelievable trading volume. And also the metaverse and gaming coins. Of course, Facebook announcing that they are rebranding as Meta. We knew they were turning to a metaverse company. They've made that very clear. But some of the metaverse tokens pumping on the back of that. Mana up 84%. Division, Wild, I've never heard of Wild Creek over. Network, I was a seed investor in that one. They are all flying on the back of this, on the coattails of this news from Facebook. Also, gaming tokens doing very well. You know, this is really also a metaverse play as well. Axie, Engine Coin. Sand is a metaverse token. I don't know why that is. You know, the grouping on here is not great. But, you know, this is the space I've been tipping and that I'm well positioned in. Myself, I think we will see much more growth. You can see when we look at the total market cap, these are tiny little areas still. This gaming area for me will become a much larger square. You know, it really is a significant, the play to earn state of play it's a significant part of what this technology will achieve and where we'll see a lot of growth. So let's jump into the bubbles. There's Shiba. You can't get away from it. It's just unbelievable. And I'll look at that in a minute and talk about that with you. SafeMoon, also another kind of meme token doing very well. Secret, an interesting layer one that is coming up through the ranks. I do have a small position in this. It's worth your attention. And there's Mana, as we were discussing. Yeah. So what have we got? Well, one of the things I wanted to first say is that looking at the burn, it's easy to forget that Shiba is built on Ethereum. And so it's actually one of the largest burners of Ethereum this week, burning 2,700. Well, not the largest, but up there. So the success of Shiba is also a success of Ethereum, which is nice to see. You know, all roads, you don't really have to take much of a risk with Ethereum. It's, you know, such a diverse asset. Whereas Shiba Inu, if you are involved in that token, well done, fantastic. But you know, now is not a bad time to be dollar cost averaging into something that is going to have a much better chance of standing the test of time. I do believe Shiba has a network effect. You know, it has so many people now owners of it that it will probably succeed in the way that Doge has maintained its price up there. But you know, I don't know what its future is. So we now have 686,000 Ethereum burnt. This is $3 billion worth of ETH has now been burnt. And looking at the layer 2s, we now are up another 8%, 4.3 billion is locked in layer 2, which is great to see. Arbitrum continuing to lead the pack and DYDX. Interestingly, Loopring is jumping up 16% this week. And the reason I understand for this is that, so in Loopring's GitHub, there's a suggestion that GameStop has bigger plans for NFTs using Loopring as a roll-up for this. So bit of alpha that dropped in the GitHub community. Loopring has done very well, up something like 70% in the last few days on the back of this. So yeah, don't write off GameStop. Who knows what they are up to there. Looking at the total value locked in DeFi, we're still over $1 billion. We're down a little bit, I think, on the week. We're down $1 billion because of Aave. Look at this drop, 27% drop for Aave. And this is because, where is my thing? We have Justin Sun, the creator of Tron, who, you know, this guy is a multi-billionaire in the crypto space. He withdrew $4.2 billion worth of assets out of Aave. Quite an incredible amount of money that was taken out of Aave. Of course, the lovely thing about blockchain is it's all open ledger. We can see what's going on here. And this is based on a rumor that there was a DeFi protocol called Cream, which was hacked. And there's a rumor that the same vulnerability could have been in Aave. I don't believe it is, but you wouldn't take any chances with your 4.2 billion. So I can't blame Justin for making that withdrawal. But DeFi 1.0 is continuing to just get hit pretty hard. Aave was doing quite well on the week and has now pulled back a little bit. DeFi 2.0 is where it's at. Just going back to the Shiba stories, so mental gains. This is a wallet out there that bought $8,000 worth of Shiba last August. It would now be worth, is now worth, this person's sitting on $5.7 billion. The address hasn't moved. Person perhaps isn't aware that they have this amount of money. Of course, they couldn't liquidate it at this much, but they could probably squeeze $1 billion out here. Unbelievable. I have a friend who would have nearly 2 billion himself had he not sold back in March. He's crying into his tea. Sorry, Leo. By the way, if you do like the content, please do subscribe, please do press the like button, and please do comment. I love reading your comments. So yeah, just talking about that Shiba volume. This was the last 24 hours. This was on the 27th of October. Shiba this is volume on Coinbase and Binance, more volume than basically Bitcoin, ETH, Binance, Solana, Doge put together. Just bonkers amounts of volume, $23 billion worth in volume. So, this can't be ignored. It's here to stay. I don't think it will hold in the top 10. Doge and Shiba will hold in the top 10 forever. I think, I don't know. But as I said, my advice, I've had texts from 3 or 4 friends who hold Shiba. And for me, that's kind of a top signal. It's a great time to be dollar cost averaging out. So, I don't want to be the guy saying sell when this goes even higher for them, but it's a good time to take some profits off the table, just dollar cost average out of your position. Sure, hold some, but how much higher can it go? I mean, we're looking at a market cap of $40 billion, more than much more than Deutsche Bank and other things. I think Polkadot's $45 billion, so it's coming up on Polkadot now in its market cap. So I've had people also say, Shiba's going to $1. For Shiba to go to $1, it would have to have a market cap worth double all of the assets in the world. That's every stock, every bond, every property, every cryptocurrency, everything double. So Shiba is not going to $1. But yeah, wild rides, and congratulations to you if you are holding Shiba. I'm not. And Coinbase this is another signal that we're in a strong bull market. Coinbase is now the number 1 downloaded app on the App Store. And interestingly, they changed, if you look at it, it says buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba online. And so, they're using Shiba as their keyword because they know that is where the demand is coming from. They spent $800,000 on, which is a small sum really, on lobbying in 2021's third quarter, which is good to see. If you can't beat them, join them. And the crypto space needs to be lobbying, needs to have its interests met within Congress. And so it's good to see Coinbase doing the rallying for the community. This is massive news. We've been saying, that Disney they've got so much intellectual property that they can leverage and make money from. They launched their first NFT collection through Gary V's VV company. So I think this is just the first. This is like their golden moments, which will feature some stuff from Cars and Toy Story or whatever it might be. I'm not sure, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. It doesn't include their Star Wars catalog, which will be massive. But I think it's going to give them a nice taste for what can be done in this space. They're going to see how much money they can make. And it's so easy for them. They don't need to have any supply chains. They don't need to have any physical stores. They don't need to have lawyers confirming, that you're not going to choke on this item or whatever it might be. It's just a digital asset, and they're going to make so much money from it. And I'll jump ahead quickly. On that, making so much money from it, I'd said in my last week's video that The Economist were selling this magazine cover, their DeFi episode, as an NFT. They did. And they got just $1,000 shy of the 420. They got 99.9 Ethereum, $419,000 for this. So, some guy in the boardroom was like, "Wait, maybe we should sell that as an NFT." And he's just made 400 grand for The Economist. Do you think they will stop there? Do you think they'll just say, "Oh, that was fun, let's not do that again"? Do you think other magazines won't do the same? As I said, crypto has a built-in incentive mechanism to propagate it. It pays to share it. It pays to talk about it. And so is the way of Disney adopting this. So is the way of The Economist adopting this. This is all bullish stuff. This one. So MasterCard has said that any bank or merchant on its network can now offer crypto services. So, we could have multiple currencies going through the MasterCard pipe network. Now they are saying soon cryptocurrencies can be used on MasterCard. This is big news. This is just, tens of thousands more merchants that are able to start using crypto in payments. So, massive. Kucoin, it's an exchange. I've held some of their tokens. It's an exchange that I quite like, I think is underrated. They reported a 720% year-on-year volume increase, which is huge, and their token has done pretty well on the back of this. It's still one of the more sketchy, probably the sketchiest exchange I use, but I do trust it. I don't keep much on it, but I hold their token, and I find the interface to be even more intuitive than Binance's. Kucoin, impressive numbers they're putting down. And it doesn't surprise me. Goldman Sachs says DeFi has its advantages over the traditional finance system. Wow, keeping up with the curve there, Goldman Sachs. But you know what this means? This means that they've already made an investment. They don't say things like this. They don't announce that they're bullish on something unless they've already positioned themselves prior to these announcements. So their narrative is shifting. This all just, we're turning a massive battleship here. And these are all just incremental gains of turning that battleship. So this is good to see. We said that Twitter are adding the option to have your avatar as an NFT verified. So you'll see a little Ethereum logo saying this is legitimate. Well, they're now looking to add a collectibles icon. So you'll be able to click on someone and see their gallery of NFTs that they have there. Further adoption there. But just jumping back on that, it's interesting to see that, when we look at the burn, if we looked at this if we looked at where OpenSea was in the burn leaderboard over the last month, it was firmly top. There was so much activity on NFTs. And now this last week, you can see that OpenSea has fallen quite dramatically in volume. Interest in NFTs is dropping as the price of Ethereum rises. People are thinking, wait a minute, my JPEG is getting really, really expensive. If Ethereum doubles, then the price of my JPEG is effectively doubled as well. And is it worth that? And so, I've got a few NFTs knocking around. I'm getting nervous in their values. Maybe they're good things to be buying, at more of the top of cycles rather than when we're about to be, in parabolic breakout. So that volume is dropping on OpenSea right now. Not that I think the NFT space is dead in the slightest. It's only just getting started. But what we're witnessing is that kind of Cambrian explosion of NFTs, and much of it being kind of useless JPEGs. Anyway, we'll see. So I just came across this HOP protocol. This is allows you to bridge between different, so you can move your capital. I'm not going to do this now because I'll have to connect to my wallet, but you can move from mainnet to Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum. You can swap tokens between different layer one rollups, which is quite cool. But a reason I wanted to bring this to your attention is because if you do this, then you'll probably qualify for a retroactive airdrop. They don't have a token yet, and I'm sure they will release one at some point. So this is just a classic example of something to interact with to get yourself a retroactive airdrop. I will be doing more of these. I've got a long list of places where I'm pretty confident you will get retroactive airdrops. So, OpenSea is another one. MetaMask is another one. I'm sure all of you have used both of those, and Arbitrum and Optimism, but there are plenty more. And on that, this is, if you don't use, I don't think you can see the top here, EarnPHI, EarnPHI, sorry, EARNI.phi. You put your address in here and it tells you airdrops that you are entitled to. Really, really useful. And sometimes those airdrops can be time sensitive. So I pay for their premium service. This is not a paid promotion. I think it's like $220 in Ethereum. And I put my address in here and they alert me if an airdrop is, if I'm entitled to an airdrop. And so literally a week after doing it, I got an airdrop worth $188. So it paid for itself within like 5 days. So I think for me, it's well worth paying for. This is EarnPHI. It's this little helicopter symbol. You can pay $220 for the year, or you can pay $29 a month. So I just did the year purchase on this, but really impressed with it so far. As I said, it has paid for itself. Reddit has put a job posting saying they want to build NFTs in their platform, and I think Reddit are they're going to be one of the first movers into the Web 3.0 space, which what Web 3.0 really is attributing value to digital assets online, the people's digital assets rather than the corporation's digital assets. And so if you've used Reddit, I think it's something like the 5th biggest website in the world for traffic, but they don't really monetize very well. Their users are the least valuable. But if you think, like, at the moment you get rewarded gold and silver and little emojis, imagine if you get rewarded NFTs for good content. And so it encourages better content on Reddit, makes it an even better site, and makes people much more inclined to really put the time in to those posts. And so, they're using Ethereum, of course, and they're rolling out NFTs on Reddit. And each one of those subreddits is perfect for becoming a DAO as well. So you can really see Reddit becoming a big crypto community as this progresses. Reddit is awesome. What have we got last? Oh yeah, that was that one I just shared with you. So we can move on to the charts. So we start, of course, with Bitcoin. And let's just look at this on the weekly chart. So we kind of have a doji. As I said, we had that shooting star, which looked bearish, but it wasn't bearish. We did initially drop down, but we have come back up, and we formed this kind of indecisive doji. But we are just up on the week and holding above this kind of critical support here of 60,000. And I think we're just kind of gathering. What good markets do is they move up slowly, and the more that they kind of can coil down here, up here, really is healthier for me. I'd rather have something that grinds its way up than something that kind of moves in a Shiba fashion, like one big green dildo and then possibly back down. A slow grind or coiling at a new all-time high means you're typically building momentum for another jump. So I am perfectly happy with this. I see this as very healthy, sustained price action up at this price. And I think, we'll take out 65,000 and probably make an impulsive move to 70 in the next week or two. But, sideways coiling until then, fine. Ethereum all-time high achieved yesterday. We got as high as 44.50 or so. It's just come back a little bit in the last few hours or so, overnight. But unlike Bitcoin, which has lost this kind of upward channel, which was a very steep upward channel, you can't necessarily sustain that all the time. Ethereum fell out of its channel and regained it. So Ethereum continuing to look more bullish than Bitcoin, and you can understand when the supply is being burnt so aggressively, and more is getting staked. It just there's so little in circulation. It's not fair. The tokenomics for Ethereum are just too good, and so here we are. We're holding this nice aggressive upward channel. I think most likely we hold it and we come up and test the top of it around the 5,000 mark. To be honest. So there's just so much constant buying pressure here. So I expect dips to get bought up and for us to continue to channel up nicely. Again, really good glacial organic growth, just looking extremely, extremely healthy, extremely bullish, holding this nice channel for 1 month now. Looking at the total market cap, you can see that we are, for the week, up again. Volatility, of course, in crypto, as you would expect. What's that on a weekly? 12% weekly volatility. Just continue to grind out. Perhaps best to look at this on the logarithmic chart quickly together. So there we go. This is on the log chart, which gives us much better view, and you can see that, here's our peak in 2017, and we're still not above this area. We're still not into these aggressive overbought areas. I expect us to get to the $8 to $10 trillion over the next 6 to 12 months. And so, we really haven't got into any kind of parabolic phase. This is nothing mania about this, nothing top signally about this, just nice grinding our way up. Really healthy markets, not frothy. Let's take logarithmic off and look at DeFi quickly. DeFi up on the week a bit, but still continuing to underwhelm. This is DeFi 1.0. If we had DeFi 2.0 in here, it would be a very different story. DeFi versus ETH, the most depressing chart in crypto. Look, there's mine. There we go. Look, we just continue. We had that big spike initially with the likes of Aave and a few others doing really well, but they gave back their gains, which is again another really bearish sign. I thought that could have been a momentum shift for this space, but nope, it just continues to grind lower versus Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum is a very unforgiving metric to be valued in. Metaverse valued in Ethereum, different story. Look at this for the week. We said, of course, on the back of Facebook's announcement that metaverse tokens were doing very well. It has given back a little bit of its gains, but as I said, this is valued in Ethereum. If we looked at this valued in US dollars, it's a very different story. It's up 50% in the last week, I believe. But yeah, MVI continuing to perform really, really well. Solana hit a all-time high and has just pulled back a little bit, but again, just biding its time. It hasn't really broken up past that all-time high. As it does, I expect a impulsive move, but again, just kind of coiling below here. As all these kind of major tokens are, they're just kind of coiling a little bit. Luna continuing to grind up very nicely. Luna, of course, deflationary like Ethereum, a solid pick. And what else do we have? Okay, and just looking at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance this week has dropped. Bitcoin dominance, it was further last week, but yeah, dropping a few more percent this week, which means that there's risk. Well, we know there's risk appetite in the market because we've seen what's happening with Shiba. But yeah, this means that people are happy to cycle out of their Bitcoin into alts. The further this goes down, the more kind of alt season we are in. So yeah, we are coming down, sitting at 44% dominance. ETH dominance has come up and tested that critical 20% line that we've been looking at. So I see this as a big old bull flag. I see that ETH is just, where's my brush? We've got the flag post and we've got our flag, and we're just building up that momentum, waiting to break here, and we'll probably get, it could happen anytime. ETH dominance to start its move further up could easily happen there. But yeah, looking strong. But I imagine many traders sell their ETH positions down as and when they see dominance hit 20%. That's probably their line in the sand to say, "Ooh, ETH dominance getting expensive." ETH getting expensive versus the broader market. But, we're in this big upward widening channel. It's looking good. Any other dominance? Oh yeah, I wanted to quickly just look at Cardano dominance because it's kind of broken down. So Cardano did get as high as 4.4% of the total cryptocurrency market cap. It's broken down and it's kind of lost its upward channel. It's looking listlessly sad and heading down. I don't hold any Cardano. I just feel like it still doesn't do anything yet. And so, yeah, I kind of not surprised to see Cardano lose its momentum here. I still think it's overvalued at 2.5% of the total market cap. Personally, Luna's 0.67% of the total market cap and continuing to push upwards. It nearly got to 1%, but you can see Luna really making strides and has the momentum. You want the momentum on your back. You want to have the tailwinds. Momentum is very important in crypto and investing as a whole. All right, I think that is it for now. I hope you found this useful. I'm just a guy on the internet, remember. This is not financial advice. And yeah, please do comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for staying to the end, you loyal crypto cats. I'll speak to you soon. All the best.